Hello and welcome to gusmcdollgames. I'm Nick McDowell and today we're playing part 2 of Viking Funeral, the 8th mission in the NATO campaign in Naval War Arctic Circle. Naval War Arctic Circle is based on a hypothetical Great Arctic War set in 2030 and fought in the North Atlantic, Arctic, Baltic and the North Sea. The NATO campaign covers the Great Arctic War as experience from the Northern Partnership and NATO alliances. In Viking Funeral, a VIP must be saved from occupied Norway and we need to help secure the escape. In this episode, we must bring the Skjold with the VIP to the marker. The Skjold with the VIP must survive. In the previous episode, a helicopter ferried an escaping VIP to a waiting Skjold stealth corvette before the helicopter was brought down by a missile. A surface action group consisting of the Fridtjof Nansen and Eva Huitfeldt fired 4 Harpoon missiles that sank a Project 206 MR Vickers hydrofoil missile boat. And a fierce air battle over the waters east of RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland downed a number of enemy fighters launched from the captured Bergen-Flesland airbase in Norway. But at the cost of almost all friendly aircraft, and only 2 now remain. Next, the Skjold still needs to get to safety. Straight away, the F-35 detect another inbound air group. The enemy cross the threshold into AMRAAM missile range. Fox 3. Engaging at maximum range may not bring down the enemy aircraft, but the intent is to force them to turn away and expend fuel. This will prevent them from achieving their mission. At RAF Lossiemouth, the refueling aircraft is being prepared for its next mission. There are no reinforcements. The enemy fighters are launching from the captured Bergen-Flesland airbase in Norway, directly across the North Sea from RAF Lossiemouth. Let's speed up time. AMRAAM are closing on the inbound MiG-29K. One is shot down. Then another. A third escapes by outrunning the missile. The F-35A checks it has its radar active. There have been too many surprises already. The Fridtjof Nansen and Eva Huitfeldt also have their sensors active. However, the enemy aircraft are operating just outside of SAM range. Let's speed up time. On both sides, aircraft return to base to rearm and refuel. Another 10 minutes before the next sorties are ready. Suddenly, 4 missiles are detected inbound. KH-31 missiles, NATO designation AS-17 Krypton. These are supersonic air-to-surface anti-ship missiles launched by MiG-29s. The Surface Action Group has already counter-launched a Standard Missile Block 2. The good news is that the missiles were not launched against the Skjold, or the VIP would be swimming to safety. The missiles are closing fast. It is time to fire everything we have. Two missiles remain. Then one. A final missile gets through and the tension builds. Finally, it is shot down and all on board breathe a sigh of relief. The Surface Action Group is intact. Still another 7 minutes before the next sortie from RAF Lossiemouth. Let's speed up time. The first sortie launches from RAF Lossiemouth to cover the northern flank of the escape route. It climbs rapidly and activates radar. The next sortie also launches, headed towards the enemy-held Bergen-Flesland airbase in Norway. Let's speed up time. The F-35 detects enemy aircraft loitering around the Norwegian coast. It vectors to intercept. The Skjold is proceeding at maximum speed to the rendezvous point and safety. The Surface Action Group is moving to cover the withdrawal of the Skjold. Let's speed up time. Another aircraft is detected launching from Bergen-Flesland. The F-35 abandons its intercept and instead takes up position to protect the Skjold from any inbound air-to-surface missiles. Meanwhile, the Surface Action Group set up for a pass-by on the starboard. More enemy aircraft launched from Bergen-Flesland, approaching AMRAAM range. Missiles are launched, and the enemy aircraft break off. A MiG-29K pops flares and evades the missile. As does the second aircraft. Now, the AMRAAM is a radar-guided missile, so let's all agree that the flares are a graphical depiction of a range of measures, including electronic countermeasures, some of which may be effective against active radar homing. The F-35 launches again. And again. It continues to launch near maximum range to keep the MiG-29K defensive and away from the Skjold and the Surface Action Group. Four missiles are inbound on the MiG-29K. One aircraft is shot down. then a second. One remains. The F-35 launches both its remaining AMRAAM. It heads for home. The Surface Action Group is lining up for a passing exercise, or PASSEX, on the starboard beam. The Skjold is now within the protective bubble of the Surface Action Group's surface-to-air missiles. The mission is not over, but perhaps the immediate danger has passed. The remaining MiG-29K is shot down. At the same time, another aircraft launches. The F-35 vectors to intercept. We are almost ready for our passing exercise manoeuvre. A passing exercise, or PASSEX, is a manoeuvre where the ships of two countries pass by each other and exchange signals. Now, we don't know the identity of the VIP on the Skjold. It could be a celebrity getting out of there. But in the Second World War, the British evacuated various European monarchs and heads of state from countries that were being occupied. This seems to match the current scenario, so let's assume it is a Scandinavian monarch, and the PASSEX is ceremonial in nature. Let's speed up time. And there they are, a few kilometres away, just on the horizon. Adjust course to get closer. We now have to imagine sailors lining the upper deck to salute. Only those not closed up at action stations, of course. On the Skjold, the VIP is receiving the salute in full dress uniform. Would a 21-gun salute from the Otobreda be appropriate or wasteful? Let me know what you think. The Skjold now returns course to Britain and safety, as does the Fridtjof Nansen and Eva Huitfeldt. Back in the danger zone, a MiG-29K is brought down by an AMRAAM. The F-35 fires another AMRAAM at an encroaching enemy aircraft. The MiG-29K is withdrawing at top speed using its afterburner. If it escapes, it will need to refuel. The MiG-29K pops flares and other countermeasures and evades. The F-35 re-engages. The MiG-29K turns away. Then it is brought down. The F-35 launches at the aircraft, moving to land. The Skjold continues on course. The MiG-29K is preparing to land, but a missile is inbound. This will be a race between the missile reaching the aircraft and the aircraft reaching the airbase in safety. It pops flares and evades. Another detection of an aircraft close in and another AMRAAM. More AMRAAM are fired at the aircraft on final approach. The Sukhoi T-50A is shot down. The MiG-29K is shot down within sight of the airbase. Not good for their morale. let's speed up time. Not for long, another enemy aircraft is detected. It crosses the North Sea in pursuit of the F-35. It is just out of SAM range. It launches a missile and turns away. The F-35 is returning to base. No fuel, no missiles. It is shot down. A sad end to the mission. At this point, despite the enemy's air superiority, the Skjold is on course to escape. The Fridtjof Nansen and Ivar Huitfeldt are providing surface-to-air missile cover. Earlier, they sank a Project 206 MR Vigra hydrofoil missile boat. We have taken heavy air losses, but also inflicted heavy air losses on the enemy. But most important, we have achieved the mission. The VIP has made it to safety. Victory! We lost 9 aircraft, no surface assets, and completed the mission successfully. The enemy lost 13 aircraft and 1 surface ship. Both sides kept their air bases intact. As always, thanks for watching. For more Naval War Arctic Circle content, check out the NATO campaign and Jersey blockade playlists on our channel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.